Hello kiddos, so we're on the third part of our writing process series, and I originally was going to do the last two pieces in separate videos, but decided to put them both into one. So the last two steps are revising and editing, and so let's start with revising. Revising, the best way to revise is to remember your 6+1 traits. Now, if you don't know your 6+1 traits, I'm going to eventually make some videos on those as well, but I hope you do know those. According to this slide, we can look at the traits you use in revision are 5 of the 6+1 traits. You use ideas, organization, voice, word choice, and sentence fluency. And you check those traits to make sure they meet good standards for writing. So let's look at each of these traits. Revising for ideas. You want to make sure your topic is interesting and that your details, that you have enough of your details. So that's your ideas section, and you want to make sure that that is good. Revising for organization. Organization refers to how you put your ideas in order. So you should ask yourself the following questions. Do my details appear in the best order? And what we talked about before, did I use transitions to make my organization clear? Voice is one trait that a lot of students tend to forget about or not understand. Voice is the simplest way I can explain voice is, does it sound like you, if you were speaking it? Do I read your work and get a feel like I can see you saying those exact words to me? And also has to fit the audience. Not too formal, not too casual in certain instances. A short story can be very casual, but a research paper would not be casual. So, and does it show interest in the topic? So your voice, really want to focus on having your voice come out in these particular, in whatever you write. So, it's a good idea to use a revising checklist. I thought I had one here. Yes, there we go. Revising checklist. You can copy these down, which I would recommend. But I also have some different writing checklists in the classroom that you're certainly welcome to use. Peer edits are very important. Peer edits, parent edits, and teacher edits. Because now that we're in the revising stage, we're on draft 4 or 5 at this point. Your first draft is you just wrote it. Your second draft, you cleaned up what you wrote. Your third draft, you had somebody edit and you started revising. But as you go through your revision checklist, you might revise 2 or 3 more times. And then let's talk a little bit about feedback. You should be getting responses from people and providing feedback to others as well. Things that you should look for, and when you revise or edit or give feedback, or when someone gives feedback to you, details that can clear things up, better organization, improved voice, more specific wording, and smoother sentences. And that's one of the traits for writing they kind of skipped over. I need to go back. Word choice. You need to start selecting more sophisticated words now as you go older, and more descriptive words. Don't use words like thing and things, items. Use more descriptive words. Expand your vocabulary. That's something we're going to cover a lot this year, is better word choice. So be prepared for that. So that, in a nutshell, is revising. It's mainly just going over those 5 traits that we discussed just now, and making sure they're good. So the next is editing. And editing is the nuts and bolts, so to speak. It is the punctuation, capitalization, spelling, grammar, and sentence errors. That's the mechanics that we talk about. In our 6+1, that's the 6th trait and the +1, which is conventions and publication. So here is a very good editing checklist that you can use. I would suggest writing this down. We are going to try a new system this year called SAS Curriculum. We'll see if that works or not, but that's a good, from what I've seen, a good grammar checker. Peer edits help catch grammar. Different things like that. So there are lots of different tools to help you edit, and you need to learn to use those tools and learn from your mistakes so you're not constantly editing the same things over and over again. So those are the final 2 steps to the writing process, which is pre-writing, writing, revising, and editing. So remember, important things to remember as I wrap this up. The writing process is not linear. It doesn't happen in a straight line. You constantly go back and forth between the different stages. It's important to understand that. The other thing to understand is the revision and editing stages are probably the ones that are cut out or shortened up way too often. Good writers revise. No way around it. So I would say, on average, you should shoot for 5 to 6 drafts of everything you write. No, I'm not kidding. Seriously. 5 to 6 drafts or more at times. Fortunately, Google Docs will save all those drafts for you under your revision history. But it's important to note, spend a lot of time in the revising and editing stages. Look over these checklists. Make it a habit. Get familiar with it. Get comfortable with it, because that's what makes your writing, is the revision and editing stages. And that's where people excel or falter quite often. So that is the writing process. I'm wrapping it up now for you. And I hope you enjoyed this series. I'm sure you did, actually. I don't see why you wouldn't have enjoyed learning more about the writing process. So that is it, and you have a good day.